Hello there. Welcome to this episode of Force Ghost Conversations. This is your host, Anthony King, and in this episode, I'm going to take a deep dive look into the brand new trailer for The Bad Batch Season 2, as well as the brand new upcoming video game, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Before we get started, I'm inviting you to join the conversation with us. We can be found on Twitter and Hive at Force Ghost Pod. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok just by searching Force Ghost Conversations. We look forward to connecting with you on those platforms. Also, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your listening site of choice. Finally, please be sure to check out our T Public store to buy some Force Ghost Conversations merchandise. And without further ado, it is time to gather around the campfire for some Force Ghost Conversations. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another installment of Force Ghost Conversations. And in this particular episode, I am so thrilled to be chatting with you about some of the brand new trailers that have come out recently in the Star Wars galaxy. And the first one of these will be for the video game Star Wars Jedi Survivor, the anticipated sequel to the hit video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and this will continue the story of our one of our favorite Jedi's here, Cal Kestis, and his band as they traverse the galaxy and this post Order 66 world, learning what it is to be a Jedi who's survived Order 66, learning what it means to be out as a Jedi in this very traumatic and climactic time of the galaxy, and learning to what it is to be like in the dark times of the Empire, especially as a target number one, literally. Um, I think it's safe to say that the game itself for Fallen Order is definitely one of my favorite Star Wars games ever. It's a great story, and it has this general, like, the way that it characterizes both Cal Kestis and the Mantis crew around him. Like, you just become one with this ragtag family of survivors, and you I'm just compelled by their story, and I'm glad that this game is getting a sequel. I know that some of my gripes about the gameplay itself were, just because I'm not that big of a gamer, so sometimes some of the stuff can get frustrating in terms of puzzles of it all. But overall, the general story is really, really central to what Star Wars is as a story for 12-year-olds on the precipice of entering out into the real world, as well as a 12-year-old within each of us. And this story is right at the heart of all that. So I'm really thrilled that this series is getting another installment in the franchise. And of course, there's going to be the prequel book that comes out just a few weeks before, or maybe a week before, or something like that. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head, but it's going to help bridge the gap between the movie or not the movie, but the first video game and the upcoming sequel, Jedi Survivor. So at the Game Awards recently, there was a new gameplay trailer for this game that came out. So they called the official reveal trailer, and we're going to do a live kind of reaction to it and discussion afterwards. And then after that, we'll do a similar thing for the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, which also came out basically, I think, in the same week. So it's a really exciting time for all the Star Wars content coming out. Just some housekeeping before we get into all that. Because this is a midweek release episode, there will be no Cloud City Gossip in this episode. For any of the news that comes out over the week for Star Wars, Lucasfilm, Willow, Indiana Jones, you name it, we'll cover that in our Sunday show, which will be all about Willow Episode 5. So get ready for all that, and we'll talk about all the news that may come out. But we're just going to go straight into the meat and potatoes of this episode here, which is going to be the trailer reactions, basically, for both of those. And so if this is your first time listening to Force Ghost Conversations, or your first time listening to a trailer discussion, what I like to do is I like to pull up the trailer on YouTube and I will live react to it. I will play it. I have headphones on currently, so you won't hear the audio, but you'll hear my audio being recorded of me speaking into the microphone and giving my quick thoughts on the spot. I'll say like, "That's cool. That's neat. I like that detail," and then we'll come back afterwards and chat about anything further. So the other thing that I like to offer up too is if you would like to follow along at home, you're more than welcome to. Just go to YouTube or a video streaming site, I imagine. Search Star Wars Jedi Survivor like I did, and the first result that came up was for the EA Star Wars channel, the studio that helped to produce the game, and it will be called Star Wars Jedi Survivor Official Reveal Trailer. So if you want, pause the episode now and cue it up, or you know, uh, grab another device, yeah, an iPad, a tablet, computer, what have you, another phone, and do the same steps to pull up the trailer. And you can hit play at the same time I do. Then you kind of get a sense of where I'm at when we're talking about this overall. But that's all the housekeeping for this episode. I'm going to hit play on the trailer in 3, 2, 1. Okay, the order is gone. Who's that in the back to tank? Who is that? I was betrayed. BD1 on the back of Cal there. Yeah, who's this in the back to tank that they're letting out? I will not be imprisoned again. Is that the Zepho? Oh, wow. You can already see some of the antagonists coming into play here. Obviously, the Empire, I mean, that's a brilliant visual undertaking there. It looks like some kind of library. That'll be intriguing. Your gameplay looks like incredible here, and all these, definitely going to be involved with nature again to a large degree. Wow, a Jedi, yeah. Ooh, who are these creatures? These characters that they're facing here? It's not like it's the Purge Troopers again from the first game. Oh, and Cal's got 2 lightsabers. Let's go. Oh, Wampa. Whew. Yeah, what's up with these like droids? These look like Purge droids. That's metal. Who's this guy saving them here? Oh man, he's gonna come along the journey too. I like this Triceratops looking monster. Definitely some battle droids. Oh man, the dual wielding lightsabers are gonna be great. Also, looks like a Spider-Manning here, flinging from side to side, cross guards on the lightsaber. But hope survives in the end. That's why the Jedi are a threat. March 17th, 2023, ladies and gentlemen. March is going to be an incredible month for Star Wars, let me tell you. I mean, geez, you can pre-order the game now, of course, but let's see. Mando Season 3 debuts on March 1st. The Bad Batch will still be premiering episodes going into March. I believe at the end of March is when the season finale is for Bad Batch Season 2. This game comes out March 17th, and the tie-in book that I mentioned also comes out in March. And then in early April is Celebration in London. So this is really a fantastic time to be a Star Wars fan, and as a person that is in the weeds about Star Wars content and producing for this podcast. I mean, golly gee, I'm going to be set for a while. Yeah, but that was a great trailer. I mean, it gives a lot more details, I think, than the first teaser trailer that we got at Star Wars Celebration last year. I like that there were a lot of unique creatures brought into this game. Very similar to the first one. You have a lot of, I know there's a love-hate relationship with people about the first game, where you're much entwined about getting acclimated to um, these different creatures across the various planets, but you also are encouraged to kill them, which may all seem to be an un-Jedi like thing, so that you can collect Force abilities and level up throughout the game. I did like the Triceratops looking character. That was probably the coolest creature that I saw in this game so far. But a little Wampa reference there. We're gonna have to see a Wampa. He doesn't look like he's in the snow, which means maybe this is a different type of Wampa. But I thought that was really cool. A lot of antagonists aside from the character, the creatures alone too. We had obviously the Empire. It looked like there were some droids there. Who is that guy that's like remind us why the Jedi are supposed to be done or extinct and all that? Who knows what all those creatures are? And of course, there's that like droid-esque looking like Purge Trooper, Dark Trooper, Purge Trooper combo. Even some of those droids from Revenge of the Sith look very similar too. It looks like they have that similar like vibro weapon. Yeah, and of course, Cal is several years older at this point in time. I believe this is 10 BBY when this game takes place. So we got an older Cal. Sarah looks like she's aged up a bit too, and looks like she's putting together some type of library archive. I'm not sure exactly what she's going to be doing, but it'll be interesting to see what we're all talking about here when the game comes out. And of course, at the beginning, what in the world is going on with that back to tank? I have got no clue. Is that the Zepho? Is that a survivor of the Zepho? Is that what the survivor of this whole thing is? Like this lost race that we're trying to hunt down, the survivors of that race, leading from the elements of the first game, right? And of course, it looks like everything is taken up to the nth level when it comes to the design of the game, the gameplay itself, the um, putting the force abilities to the test. I know that's one of the fun aspects of the first game for sure, but it looks like they're adding more to that. They're going further into what the capabilities of the gameplay system are and the engine of it all. That looks great, and I can't wait for this game to come out. March 17th, ladies and gentlemen. That's when this game is going to hit our shelves, and we're going to have a great time talking about the lore of it all and the canon of it here on Force Ghost Conversations. And maybe I'll do a little bit of a play along and talk about the game for like a half hour or so, kind of similar to what I did for Lego Star Wars the Skywalker saga when it came out a few months ago, just before Celebration, I believe. It's been a while. Not just before Celebration. It came out in like April, and then Celebration was in end of May, of course. But I still have yet to beat that game. So now that grad school is taking a break, I will probably have some more time to get to that game and finish off the sequel trilogy and conclude all of that. But those are all of my thoughts on the Jedi Survivor trailer. Let's shift our gears over to the Bad Batch Season 2 official trailer. That was a fun little adventure that we had on Star Wars Twitter the other day in finding out how this trailer was coming out. Of course, there were some that said, I first watched this on Disney Plus because that's where it came out first. And then, of course, it came out on Twitter and YouTube and all that. It was a fun hurrah of a moment for sure when it was people finding out like, hey, go to Disney Plus now. It's on there, or go to YouTube. It's on here. To Twitter. It was a it was an exciting time to say the least. And of course, there were comments back and forth about all of it, and it was an exciting time to be a person from the sidelines watching this. But I know I can't be more thrilled about the season 2 of Bad Batch finally coming out in the new year, and you can obviously know that we are going to be talking about this here on Force Ghost Conversations. And when I mean me, we, it's not just me, but you know full and well that Mrs. Force's Conversations, who is probably the biggest Bad Batch fan out there, will be joining each and every episode that she absolutely can to give her important thoughts and viewpoint on what these characters are going through, the themes, the missions, and the fun of it all overall. So, same deal as before. I'm going to pull up the trailer here. It's Star Wars Bad Batch Season 2 official trailer. If you want to follow along on your own end, be sure to pull it up on YouTube. It's, of course, I got it from the Star Wars YouTube channel, but there are other sites as well that have it. So be sure to pull that up and pause the episode now if you want, or pull up another device and let's have a fun reaction to this trailer. I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1. Going live. All right, we got this planet here. Looks cracked some crabs in the water on this beach-like planet here. Oh, it's great to see our fun batch of clones again. I'm running away from these crabs on this beach here. Omega got a hat on. Ooh, this looks like a Wild Escape episode for sure. The Dark Times of the Empire are certainly back on top again. Fee Genoa, that's a new name. I don't know who she is. Ooh, how juicy indeed. The Empire is going stronger, Hunter. That's a great question. Well, how much should they be doing? What is that creature? I like how Sid's giving them this ultimatum about being their future. I don't know if that's going to give them a future or not. Commander Cody! Commander Cody, everybody! And Crosshair. They're working together. Who knows what that is entailing? Ooh, we made the right choice, Omega, indeed. Look, Omega's got some longer hair, too. Axis leader. I don't know what that means. Gunji! Gunji, everybody! We got another Jedi post 66, and he survives. Look at this pod racing a little bit here. Oh, man. There's going to be this clash back and forth of what it means to be a clone. A little bit of the Imperial Senate. Maybe there's some Mon Mothma tie-in. A little bit of Bail Organa. Who knows what Coruscant's like at this time? I know it's a little bit beyond the episodes of season 1. Of course, Rex. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. January 4th, ladies and gentlemen, only on Disney Plus. Resubscribe now if you haven't already, or time to just continue your membership, of course. January 4th, ladies and gentlemen, 2 brand new episodes of The Bad Batch are hitting our streaming platforms, and of course weekly after that until we get to the finale when there's another 2 episodes. And of course, this is going to overlap with the incredible month that's going to be March for Star Wars fans, which includes, of course, again, Bad Batch season 2, Mandalorian season 3, Fallen Order tie-in book, Fallen Order tie-in book, and then of course the anticipated sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I mean, come on now. What are some of the big takeaways from this trailer, though? I like the close knit nature of this group again, and we're seeing these interconnected ideas of what it means to be a clone again. And frankly, what it means to be this family. I think Omega is struggling with how much they sacrificed for her and for her well-being and all that when they could be off doing something else. And I like how I believe it is Echo that says we made the right choice. We would do it again if given the chance, right? Like that is exactly what she needs to hear at that moment. This is them being mature fathers, brothers, if you will. They're part of this family dynamic that is really special and cool. And we're of course going to get Commander Cody back into this fold. I think that's really the biggest aspect of this trailer is we see Cody again, and he's working with Crosshair. We don't know if he's going to be. I know there's speculation that he was involved in some type of like training facility or program to train the new stormtroopers and whatnot. We'll see if that comes to pass, or maybe he's a part of this elite squadron that Crosshair may be a part of as well. Who knows? We're going to find out all about that, but I think they're going to have these interesting conversations about what it means to be a clone in this post 66 world, this Empire world now, especially now that the Empire has been established for a few years, and they probably are working on phasing out the clones at this point. Stormtroopers are more affordable and require less upkeep. um, so they're being phased out, obviously, and we saw those effects in season 1. So we're only going to continue to see what the quote unquote dark times are. We got, of course, Sid coming back here, and she's offering this you do this heist and you're free finally afterwards. And I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the case. I don't think they'll ever be free as long as there's oppression from the Empire. So that's just something to consider as well. But overall, the action is there. There's going to be looks like a lot of great pod race, maybe like a pod race sequence or something like that with Tech. Wrecker, of course, is doing his usual shenanigans as the typical older brother of the group, and Hunter is being the ultimate dad at the end of the day. So I think this is really um, a great trailer, giving us all that we need for the upcoming season, and I hope that it gets you all excited too. I know we've been looking forward to this series at our home in the Force Ghost Conversations household, very much so. We were so disappointed that we weren't able to attend the season 2 panel that was at Celebration. We just didn't have the time that day because of our other obligations, but um, we've been looking forward to this since literally the finale of season 1, and we're just glad that it's finally going to come back to our streaming platforms so soon. So with that, everybody, that is all the thoughts that I had for these 2 trailers. What did you think of them all? Are you excited for Star Wars Jedi Survivor? Were you a fan of Fallen Order? Are you going to pick up this game? Are you not going to pick up this game? Did the gameplay throw you off as much as it did for me at times? Are you a fan of Cal Kestis and this band on the Mantis? And then conversely, too, are you looking forward to Bad Batch Season 2? I know that some people have gotten to see some of these episodes already. In fact, I think up to the first 14 of the 16 episode season. I've seen nothing but positivity around those episodes to this point. So that gives me the greatest confidence. I know it's the same team that's behind Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi, Rebels, and all of that. So the Star Wars animation team certainly has a great track record in putting together great content for all of us. But I hope that you're as excited as we are in our household for sure about this upcoming series. And I can't wait to bring you Mrs. Forsco's Conversations thoughts each and every week if we can. As long as schedules line up, of course. Because I know she'll have wonderful insights about the team and their dynamic and all that. So that's going to be a lot of fun as we get into uh, the new year. So 2023 is going to be just as exciting, if not more exciting, for Star Wars than 2022 in some ways. I mean, we already got Bad Batch Season 2, Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Ahsoka's coming out. Mando Season 3. Indiana Jones 5 is in June. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. I know Skeleton Crew has a potential of coming out this year, and maybe The Acolyte in a dream sense. Ahsoka could potentially come out too at the same time. So much is coming down the pipeline, ladies and gentlemen, and this is going to be a really exciting time for Star Wars. And of course, we're going to discuss all that each and every week here on Force Ghost Conversations. So if you can, we'd love to connect with you about these trailers. Our Twitter and Hive accounts are Force Ghost Pod. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Force Ghost Conversations, and we'll be there in some way, shape, or form. If you're also loving the show a lot, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to Force Ghost Conversations on your favorite podcast site. You can also leave us a rating and review, and that will help to increase our presence on any algorithm for those podcast sites so that more people can find us when they're searching for like-minded content. And finally, word of mouth is always great, so tell your friends about us. We really appreciate that. Even if you feel so inclined to, we have our TeePublic store, which is where you can buy some Force Ghost Conversations merchandise. If you're a fan of our Star Wars inspired logo, that has many options that you can purchase from that, as well as our Willow inspired logo too. So if you want a Force Ghost Conversations t-shirt, hoodie, pillowcase, or pillow, I think, iPhone case, there's a litany of different merchandise items that you can purchase on that platform, and I'd love to hear or see if you purchase any of that stuff. Be sure to tag us on your social media channels so that we can see who's repping Force Ghost Conversations out in the wild. So with that, everybody, we'll be back this Sunday with a brand new episode talking about Willow Episode 5 and breaking that down and all the goodness that is that series. So be sure to stay tuned for more wonderful content that we've got coming down the pipeline, because I assure you it is fantastic and you don't want to miss it. So with that, everybody, that's all that I had for this episode of Force Ghost Conversations. I look forward to continuing the conversation with you as well and continuing to grow the seats that is around the proverbial Force Ghost Conversations campfire. But until then, may the Force be with you. Take care, everybody.